Children, Jehovah wants you to be happy and keep you safe. But some people want to do bad things to you. So Jehovah gave you a conscience. It's like an alarm system that helps you to know right from wrong. It will protect you from danger. So, Mom and I will help you test your alarm system. Ready? What if someone tells you something that makes you feel uncomfortable or scares you? What do you do?
I'm not sure, but that's weird. Stop!
Very good. Tell them to stop it. And you tell Mom and Daddy. No matter what someone tells you, never keep a secret from us.
What if they ask you to do something that makes you feel uncomfortable?
I would say no.
You're right. You should say no and walk away.
What if they try to touch you where they shouldn't?
I wouldn't let them. I'd get out of there.
Good, Caleb. Even if it's an adult you know and trust, you should say no and run away. And you should yell, "Stop doing that! I'm going to tell on you!"
Stop doing that! I'm going to tell on you!
The world can be a scary place.
As an example, think about the apostate-driven lies and dishonesties that Jehovah's organization is permissive toward pedophiles. I mean, that is ridiculous, isn't it? If anybody takes action against someone who would threaten our young ones and takes action to protect our young ones, it's Jehovah's organization. We reject outright such lies.
New tonight, an 8 on Your Side exclusive investigation into how certain congregations of Jehovah's Witness handle accusations of child sex abuse.
Well, last month we told you York Area Regional Police are investigating whether clergy broke mandated reporting laws in a case in Red Lion.
Now another woman's come forward with disturbing claims and is taking legal action against the Yorkana congregation.
WGAL News 8's Becca Hendrickson has been investigating this story for months.
Sarah Brooks is a welder who used to try to burn off her own skin. She says this was the only way she could take away the pain.
That worked, actually. It did relieve my stress immediately. So I kept doing it. I used curling irons, lighters, anything, candles, anything that was close by.
Often at this vanity, which she now uses for her art.
I can't believe I still have it. It's made a lot of moves with me.
A timeline of her years in court, reliving her sexual abuse as a teenager.
I thought it was my fault.
Why?
Because I told. I shouldn't have told. Look at the mess it made.
Two faces Brooks has tried to burn from her memory, but can't forget. Joshua Caldwell and Jennifer McVeigh.
Stand right there.
Caldwell was in court in April trying to get the sex offender restrictions lifted off his parole. A judge denied him. Caldwell declined to comment for our camera. Both he and McVeigh pleaded guilty in 2014 to child sex abuse. An affidavit shows Brooks first met them at the Yorkana Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witness. The abuse began when Brooks was 15 and she was working for Caldwell.
After I would shower, I still felt really dirty, and I would keep cleaning myself repeatedly.
But you couldn't get it off?
No, couldn't get it off.
At Caldwell's sentencing, Brooks told the court she confided in the spiritual leaders of the church known as elders and was persuaded not to go to police. Under Pennsylvania law, clergy are required to report child sex abuse claims. 15 years later, Brooks's attorney has begun the process of filing a civil lawsuit against the governing body of Jehovah's Witness called Watchtower, the Yorkana congregation, and Caldwell and McVeigh. I went to the Yorkana Kingdom Hall to speak with the elders. No one answered.
Hi, Jennifer. My name is Becca Hendrickson. And
After a month of reaching out,
I had called you about a week or two ago.
The sooner that you can respond, the better.
And I wanted to give you an opportunity against Jehovah's Witness and the civil suit that her lawyer filed.
Because we are planning on airing this very shortly.
They told me they are considering my request.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
But Watchtower did finally get back to me, turning down an interview and instead sending me a letter posted on their website a month ago. It says in part, Jehovah's Witnesses abhor child abuse and view it as a crime, and the elders do not shield any perpetrator of child abuse from the authorities. I read another part of the letter to Brooks.
Are clearly informed by the elders that they have the right to report the matter to authorities. No.
That didn't happen.
Brooks's brother, who was married to McVeigh at the time, gave a victim impact statement at Caldwell's sentencing, saying the church reprimanded his sister. He went on to tell the court he and other church members ostracized her.
I went from having these very supportive, loving people in my life to them turning against me.
In the Jehovah's Witness letter, elders say they strive to treat victims of child abuse with compassion, understanding, and kindness. Brooks says she got to the point where she couldn't handle seeing her abusers, so she left the congregation at 17 and ended up living out of her truck, lost on how to get by.
You feel like an idiot. I remember my first boyfriend giving him a gift on my birthday, and he said, "What are you doing?" I was like, "It's my birthday, I'm giving you a gift." He's like, "That's not how this is supposed to work."
Brooks's civil suit is on hold until a bankruptcy claim by Caldwell is settled. Becca Hendrickson, WGAL News 8.
As an example, think about the apostate-driven lies and dishonesties that Jehovah's organization is permissive toward pedophiles. I mean, that is ridiculous, isn't it? If anybody takes action against someone who would threaten our young ones and takes action to protect our young ones, it's Jehovah's organization. We reject outright such lies.
We begin with a continuing 8 on Your Side investigation. We've told you the stories of 2 York County women who claimed their Jehovah's Witness congregation did not report their claims of child sex abuse.
WGAL News 8 has now learned a former researcher at its headquarters has filed a complaint with the Pennsylvania Attorney General, claiming it did not report hundreds of claims.
News 8's Becca Hendrickson has been researching this story for months.
How concerning is that?
Very much so. It was terrible to think that.
Barbara Anderson spent 10 years working at the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses called Watchtower.
And that's when I learned about the hidden child abuse problems.
She says that's why she left.
I didn't know what I would do with the information, and I didn't talk about it.
But she didn't stay silent long.
Well,
Anderson is now an outspoken critic of the organization and last month filed a complaint with the Pennsylvania Attorney General, claiming Jehovah's Witnesses have failed to report 775 cases of child sex abuse from 1997 to 2001 and used donation money to settle child sex abuse cases out of court.
Witnesses have been hiding approximately 6 decades of information.
In a parallel complaint filed with the New York Attorney General she forwarded to Pennsylvania, Anderson asked prosecutors to commence wrongdoing investigations, initiate civil proceedings against Watchtower, issue subpoenas for documents, and hold governing members accountable.
I was wondering if there were a contact that you had or if anyone you know who I could talk to about these allegations.
I have repeatedly asked Watchtower for a response to these claims, sending emails to the governing body, visiting individual congregations.
I hear it ringing.
I'm a reporter at WGAL.
And calling elders.
I was hoping that we could talk about.
No one has agreed to an interview, but Watchtower did send me this letter posted on its website in May. It says Jehovah's Witnesses abhor child abuse and view it as a crime, and the branch office of Jehovah's Witnesses will instruct the elders to report the matter if a minor is still in danger of abuse. In Pennsylvania, clergy are mandated reporters of child abuse. In 1997, Watchtower sent this letter to elders asking them to report back any known child sex abuse cases using a special blue envelope. Anderson sent this letter to the Attorney General, claiming Watchtower received 775 reports over a 4-year span, but never contacted authorities.
It says guilty molesters, appointed by the society. So to a position of authority in the organization.
It also says it may be possible that some who were guilty of child molestation were or are now serving as elders, ministerial servants, or regular or special pioneers.
Sexual abuse was widespread and hidden, basically to protect the religion's reputation.
To a crowd at the state capitol, which included both the Hawk family and Sarah Brooks, who claim Jehovah's Witnesses did not report their cases of child sex abuse in York County, Anderson called for reform to the way she says Jehovah's Witnesses handle child sex abuse claims.
Justice is due for all child abuse victims and to stop protecting the abusers.
I've been in contact with the Attorney General's office. They say they are unable to comment on the complaint at this time. Becca Hendrickson, WGAL News 8.
Are two witnesses. So we will never change our scriptural position